windows. Feel free to visit the gift shop, but if you're passing through the moving cars, please do so carefully, especially at the point the cars meet. The cars can bounce at any time. Parents, please keep young children close at hand. And remember, this train is staffed by volunteers who appreciate if you keep the train clean by placing your garbage in the containers at the end of the car. In the unlikely event of emergency, stay in your seats and listen for instructions from the train crew, or if necessary, move into the next car. Please know the location of window emergency exits should you be directed to use them. Thank you for your attention. The conductor and assistants will be here shortly to punch your tickets. Please have them ready and enjoy your trip along the beautiful Delaware River. A self-propelled car built in 1950 by the Budd Company of Philadelphia. The society now owns sister cars M2 and M4. These trains are manned entirely by volunteers. We have one paid regular employee, the steam locomotive mechanic. This is because the locomotive requires about 2 hours of maintenance for every hour it runs. All the other equipment also needs regular inspection and work to keep them in good shape and to make this ride possible. We do this to demonstrate life in a simpler time when the country was built by and around the railroads. If you would like to become part of this operation, please feel free to ask one of our train crew about becoming a member.
You see that we do have a bathroom on board, right there in the back corner. Gift shop is next right over here. We're free to move about the trip, but we ask you to keep all arms, hands, like another body part inside the window.
As we pass underneath Interstate 78, we are now leaving the town of Phillipsburg. The rest of our trip will be in Cohasset Township. Across the river, you can plainly see the Delaware Canal. 3 major floods of the river in 2004, 2005, and 2006 largely ruined this historic waterway, but the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has rebuilt the canal, and the water returned to the state park in 2010. Notice the strip of new concrete that was part of the reconstruction. This is a water regulator to keep the level of the canal consistent with any excess water spilling into the river, and you can see the canal water behind it when it is filled. Making cement and in use on farmers' fields. These 15 ovens are the largest existing remains of lime kilns in New Jersey, although you will see more of them further along the trip. Lime processing iron mines once dotted the landscape of northern New Jersey from this area all the way to Ringwood, Passaic County. The 15 ovens seen here are only part of the original industry spread through this area. While these kilns were built in the 1850s, the greater operation of this area predates the Revolutionary War and in fact, helped to make cannonballs and to create the iron chain that was stretched across the Hudson River at West Point to keep out British ships. The links of the chain were forged just across the river, a few miles down from here. These gills were built by stone without mortar, and despite the many decades they survived, the recent storms have been causing serious damage to them. Once past the gills, we are entering the northern fringe of Carpentersville, the next community south of Phillipsburg. This is the first named section of Hancock Township. The area was once further divided into two parts. The section we are entering was called the camps, for the seasonal residents that crowded into here during the summer. Owning a second summer home was common in Europe when the train was the predominant form of travel. Most of these small homes have been upgraded and enlarged and are now occupied all year. The central area was called the village, and while this was mostly a farming community, at one time there was a factory that made peach baskets and a pallet factory, both of which were owned by the Rapp family. They imported wood from Canada, first by river, then the railroad. Unfortunately, there was a blight in the early 20th century that destroyed the peach orchards of the area, leaving little use for the peach basket factory, and the pallet factory was moved to Easton. Many Lenape Indian artifacts can be found in the area. The name Delaware was applied to the greater group of tribes to which they belonged, as well as the state and the river. It is actually an Indian slur on the French name Delaware, even though that was the name of a prominent Englishman of the time. Mine Station. We will be making a stop here on the return trip. This is where you can visit the old Susquehanna mine and hear the story of Silas Smith, its founder, then pan for the gemstones he found so dear. In late summer, early fall, this stop is also for the corn maze, where you can navigate the trails through the corn field. And there's a picnic area here. If you are unaware of these activities, please ask the trainman about them. We are now entering the village of Carpentersville. The White House on the left belonged to Jacob Carpenter, the Swiss immigrant for whom this hamlet is named. The larger house across the street from it, second from the track, was once a store and post office.
Huwag lang sa vision. Hindi ako trabaho. Kilala na. Ito yung mga nag-record siya. Ano pa kayo? Pagpasok ko sa umaga kayo magkasama. Sa trabaho magkasama. Malihan kayo pa rin. Uwian kayo pa rin. Sa gabi magkatalupan kayo matulog. Kaya pag may nakita ko lang isa dyan, ang hirap naman. Mahirap dun sa gabi. Bata yun. Mga estimate na. Hindi kasama si Glenn. Grabe na mga, Ben! Ano pa yung katuto mo? No. Mapuputo niya.
Don't just send anything outside, okay?
Kaya pinipilit lang i-move for November. Ngayon hindi nyo naisip yan. Nung ginagawa ni opening work at yung wala na. Diba sinabi sa'yo mo, wala na. Wala na kami. Tapos ngayon, wala naman din palang magagawa. Hindi naman palang ayaw.
Black shirt, black pants, black shirt.